Hey there, I just wanted to touch base on what a friend asked me the other day. He asked me how I got into ghost hunting, and that's a rough one because that goes right back to basically when I was like 13 years old. And I got into it kind of a little tiny bit when I was that age, but I had an experience when I was 13, and that kind of opened the door, sort of, that like opened the door for it all. But then once the door was open, once I kind of kept in tune, but I never really got into it, like what you say, got into it, until I was like, what, early 20s? Then I start getting into it more and more. And then especially when I hit, back in 2011, I decided to start a group. And the group's name, I got the website and that started up and everything for it. I just got to do more work on it. The group's name is Holton Hills Spiritual Ghost Hunters. And the reason why I started the group was like there was a couple other people in it with me at first, but then once they realized how much work there was actually to it, because you have a lot of people think you can just go and there's no work to it. But what they don't understand is you have all your audio that you recorded that wherever you go in the nighttime to do your ghost hunting. You have all the audio that you have to listen to very carefully, and you might have to listen to it like 10 times just to make sure. Then you have all your video that you've taken. You might have to listen to that, look at that like 10 or 15 times. And that might be 8 hours of video or 6 hours. That's a lot of video to go through along with audio. Then you have all your pictures that you've taken to go over. The same thing. That takes a lot of time. Then you have to, time you put it on your computer, time you go through it all. There's a lot of work to it. A lot of people think, you just go to, I'll just use a cemetery as an excuse. Or not an excuse, but as an example. A lot of people think that you just go to a cemetery, take pictures, do a bit of video recording, and that's it. But that's the fun part. Really, to me, that is really the fun part too, actually. To be honest, because another part of it is, which to me is a real fun part, is being at. I'll just use a cemetery for example, or being at an old house. Because there's an old house that I've done. I was there 4 times. It's called 4077. It was the first time I went there. It was very interesting, and same as every time I went there. And every single time I went there, like the first time I went there, got a few things, like nothing major. The second time, not a thing, and the third time got like 1 or 2 little EVPs, minor EVPs. And a lot of people think that you could go somewhere, you could go to a place that is supposedly haunted, quote unquote. You could go to that place like 50 times, and you might not 50 different nights in a row, like straight in a row, and you might not get one thing. But the thing is, you might also go to that same place once in them 50 times, and you might end up with pictures that will blow you away, video that would blow you away, and audio that would blow you away. That's just the way ghost hunting is. You got to be patient, very patient, and you have to enjoy. You have to want to do it. It's one of them things to me that I believe that you have to want to do. You have to want to do it, and you have to enjoy it. Because if you don't, you're not going to stick with it. You can buy all the equipment you want. You can buy 10,000, 15, 20 grand, $20,000 worth of equipment. It doesn't matter. If you do not want to do it, and if you do not feel the calling for it, don't spend $10. You're just wasting your money, because all you'll have in the long run is equipment that you're never going to use again. And I've seen that happen with a lot of groups, with a lot of people. Like they get into it, you know, they're all gung-ho, you know, they'll race you, you know, at first. But as soon, and then after a while, the novelty wears off. And when the novelty wears off, then they lost interest. And when they lose interest, it's just well from the call it quits. Because it's one of them things that you have to have interest in. If you don't have, you have to feel, it's like you need, it's like a calling. It's like you get a calling for it. It's like it's your calling. That's like the other night I was discussing with my girlfriend. We were just chit-chatting about it, and I mentioned to her, I said, you know, I told her, I said, this summer I have to do a lot more than what I done last summer. Because last year in August, as a lot of you know, some of you might not, I had to go in for major spinal surgery on the lower part of my spine. I had L5 had a crack in it. And I was walking around like this for like 3 or 4 years with the crack in my back, you know, crack in my back, in L5. And the doctor put 6 screws, 2 rods, and a plate in the lower part of my spine. And now when I get up in the morning, I still know it because I feel like I'm 100 years old. When I get out of bed in the morning, I feel like someone hit me in the back with a baseball bat. That's how much it hurts. And it still hurts. And according to him, according to this neurosurgeon that done it, he done a good job. He done the best he could do. According to him, it's going to take me a long time to heal from it. And he said I'm going to be in pain for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, supposing I live to be 100. Which kind of sucks considering I'm only 47 years old. I'll be 48 on my birthday, on the 27th of January. Which is cool because, you know, but, you know, in regards to the surgery part, it really sucks. It really sucked. It really did. But and then I found out that around the same time about the lower part of my back, I found out that I had 2 pinched nerves in my neck, which I have to have surgery on eventually. I'm just going to get a taste of coffee first. Oh, that's good. So, what happens is basically, what happened was I basically screwed my back up. I know I got hit by a car a few years ago, probably, I think it was back like 2004. Like I only had like a few cuts and, you know, nothing broken, nothing major. But that sucked. Yeah, royally boned. But anyway, yeah, what you need like for ghost hunting is not much. You can just take yourself if you want. You know, because if you're sensitive to the spirit world, really that's all you need. Now in my next video I'm going to do, I want to talk about people that get into ghost hunting and that, and into psychic reading and tarot card reading and everything else, which is interesting, very interesting. I want to talk about that because there's something I want to discuss about it. Something very important actually to me that I want to discuss about it. And it really pisses me off. That's something that bugs the shit right out of me. Pardon for my language, but you know, that's one thing that do bug me about it. And I will explain why in my next video. So until then, take care, have a good day, and enjoy.